What's up, everyone? I'm here. We got a great guest. We got Mr. Joel Gonzalez, two-time New England champion, Division II national runner-up, and most recently undefeated MMA fighter. Joel, how we doing, bro? Of
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
course, man. It's awesome to have you on. Like I said, two-time New England champ, couple amazing accolades at the Division II level. Now a undefeated MMA fighter, but first, when did you really get on the mat before you were winning all those amazing titles and stuff?
Um, it was more of my dad. My dad was a wrestler in high school. He wasn't as serious as I was about it, but he wrestled in high school and played football. So he just felt like those two sports went hand in hand. And I mean, I loved football, but I knew it was going to be some 6 foot giant. So
Yeah.
I started to really focus and dial in on wrestling, and I just fell in love with it, and it really just like changed who I was as a person. Gave me a lot more confidence. Made me like create new friendships and meet new people, and then I just continued into high school.
Awesome. So which one did you start first, wrestling or football, or was it just the same time?
It was kind of the same time.
Got you. And what club was it that you like started wrestling at?
Silverback Wrestling Club out in Wilmette, Connecticut.
Nice. And so you liked wrestling more, I assume, back then, or?
No, I liked football a lot more than I liked wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah, I love football. I thought I was better at football than I was at wrestling.
And were you like a real competitive, sparky, like, active kid? Because football and wrestling, those are very physical sports.
Yeah, I was. Everything to me had to be a competition.
Nice.
Everything. I mean, that's what my dad made it. He's like, everything's got to be a competition with you, huh? I was like, yep.
So my next question is, like, especially as a kid, was it hard to keep your composure after, a loss in a match or, giving up a touchdown on the football field?
Um, Not on the football field because it was more team sport, and I kind of like understood that I couldn't do everything, but on the mat, it was a little more frustrating. I don't think I really threw a lot of fits. I mean, I definitely shed tears, but like I don't think I ever like had a tantrum. And if I did, my dad definitely checked me on that.
So, when did you start like traveling out of state to camps and competitions? Like I imagine you probably went up to Massachusetts and Rhode Island a little bit.
Yeah, I started young. I mean, I started me and my dad and my friend Sean Johnson. He's Sean.
Yeah, another
Um
Ellis Tech guy.
yeah, we traveled everywhere together. Every weekend we were out in Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, Jersey. So we were all over the place since like a young age. It's probably around like six. We really started traveling.
Wow, it's that young. But like,
Yeah,
it only helps, exposing a 6-year-old to that type of talent because you don't normally see the skill level of Ohio and Pennsylvania guys up here in New England.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's where a lot of the wrestling is
Hmm.
nowadays is over there.
Hmm. And then, going into middle school and stuff, I was looking at some brackets. Eighth grade, you won a state title. Were there any youth New Englands that year or no? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
so that year I actually took second.
Mm.
I took second that year. I was winning the match, and I made an error and kind of cost me.
Do you remember who you were facing?
No, I don't. I think it was some kid from Colchester. So I wrestled a kid from Smitty's Barn in the semis, and then I don't. I just remember like a lightning with a blue. I don't remember. I may have been Colchester.
Yeah. But after winning Connecticut states and then second in New England's in eighth grade, did you feel you were ready for the high school level?
I mean, I always kind of like. So the thing with me is like when I was in seventh, eighth grade, the most of the guys that were in the room as silverbacks were high school kids,
Mm,
and I was always a part of that. So when we were in silverbacks and they weren't in season, they were in their off season, and they went to summer tournaments, I'd go and travel and wrestle at like 100 pound or like with the 106. Like I'd
wow.
be their guy. So I was already wrestling high school in like seventh, eighth grade and wrestling in competition. And then like you know how the stick tournaments are. Like when I was in high school, freshman in high school, sophomore, I was already wrestling in the open division, like
Yeah.
just kind of like doing that just to expose myself to the better, stronger guys.
Hmm. So, and you said it was just like a bunch of high school guys there. Was that just a mesh of kids from like all different high schools, or was it like a lot of Ellis Tech guys?
Uh, well, I never even knew about Ellis Tech until Raphael clicked. So my uncle, was the principal there. Um,
So what high school
but
were you going? Did you like originally, plan to go to like in seventh grade or something?
oh, Wyndham High, because
Wyndham.
my dad went there.
Dude, and Wyndham was
Everyone in
good
my
too back, when we were in high school and stuff. They were like Class S, like champions and stuff.
yeah, yeah, it's Sebi, Rufino, Mikey Rufino, Mikey Clixco, Jacob Martin, Jake,
Yeah,
no, not
Jacob, I
Jake,
saw a big MMA guy now too.
yeah. So it was yeah, I was planning on going there right off, but then I don't know, it was just like I didn't want to be a part of like the same way I like chose my college. I wanted to be a part of something like rebuilding. I didn't want to be like I wanted to be the guy. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's why I kind of chose Ellis Tech because like one, my uncle was there, Raph was there, and then um, like I just felt like all right, I can I'm gonna have a great coach. So no matter what, I'll be okay. And I wanted to pick up a trade because I wasn't sure about college at the time.
Nice, smart. So you were thinking for your future at the time too.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
walking into that room as freshman, star 106 pounder, did you mesh well with the team?
Yeah, I mean, our team was. The funny thing about that is our whole team was freshmen when we walked in.
Really?
We had two seniors, but I already had knew them because I played football first. But other than that, all of our whole team were freshmen.
Gotcha.
So it was just like the same group of guys every single year.
So it really was like a rebuilding year, kind of then.
Yeah, it was.
That's funny. So do you remember like any goals that you and I guess maybe the team too, since it was such a young team as well, had for that season or for your 4 years that you were there?
Um, our main goal, we knew we weren't going to be the best team like right off the rip. We knew we were going to have a lot of struggling. But our goal was to be Class M champs as a team. That was our goal. That was always my goal. Because I was like, if I do my job and I'm winning out, these guys are gonna look at it and pick up the pace or do what they got to do to win out. So eventually that'll all come together. And if you're winning, you already know where you're gonna end up.
Hmm.
And you already know your goals in your head. Like I wanted to be. I don't know if I wanted to be a state like everybody says they want to be state champ, New England champ, Class M champ. I just wanted to win. Like I just wanted to go in there, win out, and have fun while I was doing it.
Hmm. And then, you definitely won quite a little bit your freshman year. You came in second at Class M's, only losing to Matt Dowler, I think, in a very
Yeah,
close
by two.
match. Yeah. And then, blood round at Open, sadly, but although you came up short, did it feel good knowing, you were right there as a freshman your first year? And I believe Ellis Tech even. Didn't you guys place top 10 at Class M's that year, I think?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah, at this point, a long time ago. But how'd that feel, as a freshman, knowing you were right there in just your first year of high school?
It definitely was like a bit of surprise. Just knowing the people at my weight class, like when I was like, just knowing how many good kids were at my weight class at 106 that year was just like it felt good to me. Um, but I don't know. I was a little upset because like I felt like I could have definitely won because I had beat him earlier in the year. So it was like
Dowler, that
bittersweet.
is?
Yeah, Matt Dollar. I wrestled him at like a duel or a quad, and I beat him by like two or three.
Yeah, well, like during the off season after that, did you kind of have like just a mindset where you're just on a mission for the next year to, win M's and, place that opens?
No, I hated wrestling on my sophomore year in high school.
Wow.
I hated it. I was like close to like a lot. People don't know this, but I was like close to quitting. I
Wow.
just didn't. I didn't. I was like falling out of love with it. Like I didn't. Like I've doing it so long all the time. Like I was just like,
Getting burnt
why?
out?
Yeah, I was kind of like not. I don't want to say burnt out because that's a strong word, but like I definitely was like definitely like needed like a break from it. And I feel like I did so poorly that year. I took third at at M's. I didn't place at the Opens. I lost to I don't want to be rude, but a bomb from I lost a bomb when I at Opens to get knocked out.
Yeah, your sophomore year, right?
Yeah, and then I don't know what it was. Like after that like whole thing, I just remember this like one thing that kind of like motivated me for like the like pretty much all the way until the end of college. Like my dad told me like you wrestled fine, you just didn't work hard enough. And that just kind of like stuck with me. So like my mindset going into this junior year was just like I don't even care who it is, like bring it.
hmm And
And I
like,
just kind of focused into ran into senior year too.
did you do any like specific camps or anything like in between sophomore and junior year that you think like helped your game?
I mean I went out to Fargo, but I don't think it really like helped my game. I was just like every single day I was just like work I don't think in the summertime my junior year I didn't I didn't miss a day of practice. Like I went 7 days a week every single day.
Nice.
My my I would get out of because I worked at the time. I was a counselor, camp counselor. So I'd get out of work and the wrestling room where I am is like 2.5 miles away. So every day in the summer I would run to the wrestling room. Every single day. I just
Nice two
I
and a
ran
half
to
mile
practice.
run.
Yeah, and I ran to practice and then I would either run or walk back home.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to, not because I didn't have a ride, because I wanted to.
It's that dedication, going that extra step, that really allows you to go that extra step on the mat.
Yeah, it did. It helped me a lot. It helped me a lot in college too.
hmm
I think like the way that high school went for me and where I chose the high school, if I would have went to Wyndham, I don't think I would have had the same mindset. Not because like Wyndham's not great or anything, or I didn't love the coaches. It's because like everything I did, I earned. Nothing was given to me because we were already good. Like at Ellis, we weren't good. Nobody cared about us. Nobody liked us. Nobody respected us. So we had to earn that. And when I went to college, I mean, I had my freshman year in college, we had we had eight, 7 guys or 6 guys on the team. My first semester, my second semester, we ended up with 4 or 5. Yeah, so and kids not my weight. Like I was wrestling with a 33 pounder, and then he stopped wrestling, or like something happened with school. Jordan Brock, which he's one of my close friends to this day. My roommate Randy Jenkins left. My captain at the time, Christian Rivera, left. So I was with a 197 pounder as a drawing partner.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was like really hard to just like get the speed or like get the stuff that I needed to compete at regions that year. I think you might know who it was. Gio Medina. He's from
Familiar.
he's from
Connecticut guy?
huh?
Connecticut guy?
Yeah, CT guy.
Yeah.
New
Sounds
Britain.
familiar. New Britain.
He has a brother.
Yeah, Luis Medina, is that his brother's name?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he wrestled for New Britain too.
Dude, well, I mean, like, it's really, I love the fact that you're all about like going somewhere and helping build the program, because you really did do that with Ellis Tech. Like you guys, what was it, your junior or senior year that you guys won Class M's?
My senior year.
So you guys achieved that goal, in the final year that you could. How did that feel?
It
And
was great.
it's tech school too, right?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. It just like it shows that like if you stay with something, no matter how bad it is in the beginning, and no matter what like obstacles come, like if you continue to work at it or continue to work at that thing, it will eventually go in your favor.
I remember you guys. I think you definitely were a top 10 team in the state full and stuff. I think like number 6 or 7. I remember being like, "Wow, Ellis Tech. Who are they?" Kind of shocked by that, but hey, you guys deserved it.
Yeah, we definitely those guys definitely busted their ass to put that work in and be for us to be there because they could have just slacked off in the summer, but guys are coming in the room. Guys wrestled in the off season, so that's that's why we did what we did.
Mhm. So, like, in your junior year of high school, when you finally won that state title and finally made it to New England, how did that feel? Finally capturing that state title that was eluding you for the first 2 years.
It was good. Uh, you're good. You can sit. Come on. Um, it was. I don't even know. Like, I was just. We came from a small like when you go to state opens and stuff like that. When the small schools enter the room, like M and S, no one really like cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody kind of looks down on us. So
Hmm.
like for me, it wasn't really like. It really wasn't like. It was more of a statement for me when I won it. It was like I'm from a small school. I'm from a school in my division that nobody knows about. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, but like at the end I went like this for an M for M's.
For class 10.
Yeah, and it was beating a double L kid or an L, I don't know. It was I wrestled Austin Sherman.
Yeah, he's Ludlow's in something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wrestled him and it was just like a statement piece. And then when I went to New England, it was like a
Personal.
statement. Yeah, it was personal. Everything to me was personal.
Hmm. And I think you capped off like a 49-0 season that year.
Yeah.
After doing that, going into senior year, did you feel like there was some weight on your shoulders to repeat and to just never drop a high school match again?
No, I just wanted to. I went in with the same mentality I went in with senior year, and I was supposed to go to nationals that summer at Virginia Beach. I think I would have done really well. I think I would have placed at least top
Definitely would have
three.
placed.
Because I think one of the kids that I had beat at New England's placed top three. And so like I had popped a blood vessel in my knee, and my knee was like the size of the softball while I was trying to cut weight. So I was there when it kind of like all happened. So like I had to pull out of the tournament. So like that moment there kind of like hurt a little bit. And then I went down to PA Tyrant Duels. I wrestled Timmy Kane and lost to Timmy Kane by like one or two, or I
Really?
think one. Yeah, I lost to him by one, and then that just kind of like started everything back up again and allowed me to dial back in, get to where I wanted to be at. Because I knew I had to work extra harder,
Mhm.
extra, and then so like my junior and senior year, I was doing doubles. So like I'd go to school, go to practice, come home, run the practice, run back home, then do it all again every day. And then every Friday night to make weight, I would run like not even to make weight, just because I wanted to. I'd run 6 miles every Friday before a tournament.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, yeah, 6 miles every Friday night. I liked it because it felt like I'd go into like David Cox said this thing. He's like he likes going into matches like kind of sore, kind of like beat up because it makes him get a good warm up in. So I know that if I run these 6 miles, I'm gonna have to get a good warm up in on Saturday. So like, kind of help me like focus on that aspect and help. I don't know. It just like cleared my mind.
Yeah. No, that's definitely. I know exactly what you mean. Getting going in match a little sore.
Yeah. I just feel like nobody. I knew in my head, like I convinced myself then nobody was doing what I was doing because they wanted to.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No one runs 6 miles. That. So going into or after your high school career, you won the Connecticut Dave Schultz Award. What did that mean to you to win that?
Honestly, honestly, was very surprised. I
Really?
was like, yeah, because that year I also was like, I got like academic scholar too at the banquet that year when we had the state banquet or whatever it's called,
Hmm.
and like everybody just was like, what? Like everybody like went quiet. I mean, besides all the wrestling stuff in high school, I was really like focused on making sure I had a good GPA and all those other things. So like when I got the Dave Schultz Award, I knew it wasn't just because of my wrestling,
Yeah.
because you have to do both. So
Hmm.
it just made me feel like good, good in the sense that I was doing my job and I was doing my hobby really well, which my job was school and my hobby was wrestling.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah,
There's
I wish I thought of that a lot earlier my freshman year in college because my freshman year in college, my first semester was horrible. My GPA was so bad.
Well, kind of transitioning into college a little bit, but the first, like, when did AIC first reach out to you, or when did you first get into contact with them?
Well, Raf was an alumni there, so um, my schools that the school I really wanted, like my dream school, was Virginia Tech. Like that was my dream school. And then I just was like, like well, who's gonna give me the most money? So I went out Edinburgh. I got a couple letters because my grades are good, but I got a 1290 on my SATs at a 1600. So it was like I got a little bit of Ivy League schools recruiting me. I was looking at Army. I wanted to go to Army. Um,
So you had D1, good D1 schools looking at you.
yeah, I had a couple. I had a couple strong Division 1 schools looking at me, and then I had like Rhode Island College. I had Springfield. Um, I had some Division 3 schools, but when I went to AIC, like the typical like kind of like thing you do when you go on recruit trips, you go out party, have a good time, and that. Like I didn't do that. Like the guys like we just hung out in the room, played video games, and I felt like okay, this is gonna be my home. Like that moment, I knew it was gonna be my home.
That's
And
a,
everyone on campus was an athlete, even the commuters. So it was like really nice that everybody on the campus like was dedicated to the sport and not just there to like party or like some big party sport. You know what I mean?
hmm So it's really interesting. You chose to go, you opted to go to the D2 route rather than the D1 route. Was it really just AIC just felt like the home for you?
I wanted to
And
be a
then
part of something.
I guess yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. You like being a part of building programs and the start of something great.
Yeah, I I just wanted to be part of something new. I wanted to build a legacy. I just wanted to, when everything comes to an end, I want to be remembered for like, oh, that guy put like AIC on the map,
Mhm.
or like he was a high, like high represent a good representation of AIC,
Yeah.
and that's what I wanted to be remembered as. And Rich Hassenfist, you know, if anyone else was my coach, I don't think I would have got through college. He did everything in his power to help me get through school and through everything else. Because I went to tech school, I wasn't prepared to write papers and time management and do all this other stuff. Like I went to school honestly to wrestle.
Yeah.
So my GPA my semester was horrible, and then I picked it up. I mean, I started like reaching out and like looking for things I could do and spending my time more wisely.
hmm So and you kind of mentioned it a little, but like so the team how many guys did you say you had second semester?
The second semester, I think we had like 4 or 5 guys. It was
So
me,
yeah.
Isaiah Collins, Jordan Brock, me, Isaiah Collins, Raul Martinez, and Gio Medina, and then Gennard. Yeah, Gennard. So 6, but Raul Martinez was ineligible.
Gotcha.
So pretty much 5, yeah. And yeah, 5.
So what were practices like with that small of a room?
Um
Did they feel more like personal, kind of like how people say like in a classroom, the less students, the more time the teacher has with each kid?
it was depressing. Kinda like not depressing, but like it was like
I know what you mean.
I didn't yeah, it was boring. Like
Yeah.
I'd rather be running in or bumping into somebody because our room's filled than have 4 or 5 guys and it'd be crickets. You know what I mean? But I made the most of it. Like my first year, I made the most of it as much as I could have. It was hard, but I feel like it made me buy in more because I
Mhm.
wanted it to change.
Yeah. You wanted to you knew what the team and the room could be.
Yeah.
So, like how do you feel you started off your college career after your freshman? Like looking at your freshman season, if you could describe it in a sentence, how would you?
I mean, I wrestled good. I think. I mean,
I
I had
wrestled good, I
30.
think. Nice.
I had 35 wins or something like that, and 2 losses.
That's not
I
bad.
I won the Ithaca tournament my freshman year, right, the first term of the year. I wrestled at Doug Parker. I took second that year. I lost to uh, top 3 All American, top 3 in the country. Kid from top 3 in the country, Division 3. Um, I lost. I think my freshman year was good. I mean, I went to regionals and I just underperformed. I put too much pressure on myself, and I was originally supposed to go 41 because I was built for a 41 pounder, but I went 49 instead because I just couldn't. I didn't have the partners or the ability to get down to 49 without making it hard for myself.
Gotcha. So you were dealing with low weight issues too throughout the season then.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And could you explain the Division 2 national qualifying process for the people that don't know it, like regionals, super regionals, all that?
So there's a bunch of different it's a bunch of different regions. Um,
Is it kind of like
it's kind of
conferences,
like
you would say?
yeah, like a conference tournament. So like it's like if you place top 3, you go to nationals.
Gotcha.
So if you place top 3, you go to nationals, and I think top 4 if the fourth guy if one of the guys gets hurt or something, you can go.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there's a bunch of different regions. It's just like it's basically I want to say it's just like high school in a sense of like you have class M, class L, like they have region 1, region 2, region 3, region 4, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So my
And
freshman, huh? Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, and by your junior year, you're winning these, super regional tournaments, right?
Yeah, my sophomore year, I went. I took third. That's when I wrestled 49 the whole season, and then like I missed weight I think twice.
Wow.
My coach was not happy with me,
Yeah, I can.
and and he bumped me up to 57 like 3 weeks before we go to nationals. I mean, we go to regionals. So I wrestled at 57 for my first time at regionals, and I took third, went out to nationals and went 0-2, and it was kind of like the start of like I can get here wrestling a full season at 57.
Hmm.
So I went again. I wrestled at 57 all year. Was crushing it. I was doing a good job. I was going to Division 1 tournaments, wrestling Division 1 guys. Millersville Open, Marshall Open. So wrestling like high level stuff. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
and I was on the mat when it happened, and we were all cutting. I was cutting weight, and yeah, it sucked. But I
Yeah,
got honorable. I got honorable mention, top 8.
gotcha. And like, did did when COVID hit, did it kind of like halt that drive you had for a little?
No, I was.
Did it
I
increase,
was
did it add fuel to the fire, since you couldn't wrestle?
no. It kept me dialed in. I was dialed in the whole time. I knew there was gonna be a season. I knew there was gonna be something within some sort of time. So I just stayed dialed in. Angelino Felino,
Mm.
um, all summer. So my junior year, my junior
Wow.
year, um, I uh, I worked at a I worked at FedEx. So my schedule was I worked third shift. So I'd wake up at 10, lift, practice, then go to work. And Angelino Felino had built like a big, like the size of a living room almost, out like a platform with a mat on it, so we could wrestle outside.
That's cool.
So all summer we were just wrestling outside. It was me, him, Cooper Fleming, Dylan Washburn, and then a couple of other guys from Castleton. All summer just wrestling, and I lifted with my cousin. He was a personal trainer, so I lifted with him in the mornings, and I just stayed committed. I just prepared like there was a season.
Hmm. And then once that season hit, you felt you were ready.
Yeah, I felt locked in my senior year, but I went 65. I didn't go
Yeah, you
I didn't go
kept going up in weight every year, right?
Well, we couldn't practice. We had 1 week of practice before we went to regions.
Gotcha.
1 week, like we had like 7 days.
Yeah,
So I was just already like, it was just too much of a cut. I was like walking around like 70 because we couldn't work out. Like when because we went to campus, we couldn't really work out. We had to work out outside, and the workouts were hard because it started getting colder, so you wouldn't lose as much weight. Um, could run on the treadmill, but my coach made it the best option was for me to go 65 at regions, and that's when I won my second region title at 65. I pinned the number 2 kid in the country,
wow.
and yeah, fair and check, Cannon, and then I went to nationals, wrestled him in the quarters, and it was a 1-1 match. It was probably I lost this match, but it was one of my favorite matches in my entire career because we wrestled so hard and went so hard for 7 minutes, even though I ended up losing off a stalling call, which was debatable, but you don't never leave it up to the ref. I couldn't even stand up on my own because I was so tired. Like, and I wasn't, I like when I was in college, like I was in really, really good shape. Like I could go night in, night out. You know what I mean? So like conditioning wasn't like a problem for me, but they were bigger. So me and him, like, we're just like laying next to each other, and I literally shook hands with him. He got his hand raised. I walked over to the Gannon coach. I like sat down and just laid on my back and shook his hand, and he's like, "You good?" I was like, "I need a minute," and he started laughing.
That's funny.
So that was like one of my. I mean, even though I lost, I didn't feel like I really lost because it was like one of the greatest memories I'll ever have in the sport was that right there.
Just such a war.
Yeah, it was just a war, and then I ended up wrestling the number 1 ranked kid after I won my match. Went to the second day. It was just now I'm placing rounds. I lost to St. Cloud kid who got upsetted. I lost to him. It was a close match, and then I just went for something and I didn't get it, and I ended up losing. And then I dropped down to my 7th and 8th match, and I just dominated.
Nice.
I won I think 15 to 3, and then I pinned him.
Nice. And then, how did it feel to get the All-American honors then?
It was good. I mean, it just
The
kind of
legit All-American honors, not the COVID All-American.
yeah, it kind of solidified everything from the COVID year. Like even getting honorable mention, like I got honorable mention, but I know I would All American that year, so I take that honorable mention and I treat it like it's an All American because I went up a weight class and still and did great. I think I did great going up a weight class, being how small I am. I think I did phenomenal. I think I would have done any better than anybody else at that weight at 57, up at 65 that year.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of practice time we had, because other schools were practicing and stuff. They didn't care. Like they had different rules. So, but we weren't.
Yeah, you guys were following the rules.
Yeah, we went. Oh, and no, there was teams that had matches too. Like
Wow.
3 or 4 matches before that. Like we went in as a team. Everybody was 0-0. We're the only school that
Gotta
were
be
like,
difficult for people to seed.
yeah, because all of our teams that were in the region and that were wrestling were, 5 hours away.
Yeah.
So,
So stepping into your final collegiate season, what was the goal? Was the goal national title? Nothing more, nothing less.
yeah, well, I mean, that was always the goal.
Yeah.
I think when I got there, I didn't feel like it was real. Like I just like was mentally not there. Like it just felt not real to me. Like to me when I wrestled, my best is when I didn't know what I like. I didn't know. I can't recall the match, but like for some reason, I just like it. Just I could feel everything. Like I could just see everything, feel everything, and it was just so weird to me that it freaked me out. And I just, I got in a position where I stayed somewhere too long and ended up getting pinned. And the first time, and when the last time I got pinned, I think it was Millerville my sophomore year.
Wow.
My sophomore year, I haven't got pinned since the first time I got pinned in 3 years, and it haunted me for a little while. Especially after it was my last year. I got to where I always wanted to be, and I couldn't get the job done. So it was kind of like a stab in the heart a little bit.
Yeah. Like if you could go back in time and be in the tunnel before you walked out, what would be one thing you could tell your younger self for that match?
I don't think anything. I mean, even though I lost, and it's gonna sound weird, but even though I lost, I think for me that was my path. That I busted my ass. Like there was no doubt about it. I trained nonstop. Like I was like I just it wasn't in the cards for me. You know what I mean? That day it was just his day.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything would have changed that. I think maybe if I got to perform a little bit, yeah, maybe, but I just I think it made me better person and a better wrestler even though I lost, because I was ripping through tournament, beating guys I shouldn't have been beaten, and I just felt like maybe I would be a different person if I won. You know what I mean? Maybe I would be like,
Life would be different. All right, guys. So sorry about a little delay there, but man, JoJo just got back from practice. So what type of practice was that exactly? Wrestling, coaching, MMA?
Today was MMA. It was like Thai pads, and then we did a little bit of wrestling, and kind of a little bit of everything.
Okay. And okay, so after your college career ended, what did you feel was next for you? Was it coaching? Was it MMA? Did you feel like you had a clear path?
Well, after MMA, like after wrestling, I played on the AIC rugby team, their national team.
Nice.
So I played for them, but like after wrestling, I was like, I had like a little bit of like an identity crisis for a little bit. I just didn't know what I wanted to do with just like I didn't know for a little while who I was without wrestling.
Mm.
and it took me a little bit to get over it because of just like the events that happened, and then like you know, me and my dad were like this was like kind of like my dad kind of like got to live like his college like his college life through me, and I took that like by the horns and like really wanted to like prove to him and like show him that like that we did it together, you know what I mean? So like not fully meeting expectations like we wanted kind of put me in a spiral for a little while. Um but then I had a buddy named Isaiah Longs who like introduced me to my current MMA coach now, Jared Levicheski. Um and then it just kind of like filled the void for wrestling for me. And I think it's gonna fill the void for a really long time.
Yeah, that combat sport drive, it was you were able to put it towards something else.
Yeah, for sure.
So what was what what martial art comes easiest to you as a wrestler? Is it jujitsu, or you got the hands, man, or like, what's easiest to you, and what's your favorite thing to train?
I mean, my hands are coming along. I mean, it's been a work in progress just because the footwork and everything's so much different.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the grappling came the easiest to me because it's just been something that I've done for so long.
Gotcha.
Obviously, jiu-jitsu is a lot different than wrestling. So, like, in certain positions, it's like you gotta be careful. Like, being on your back is a thing. Like, it's okay to be on your back. Like, for me, that was kind of like hard to comprehend, but like I'm starting to like just be comfortable in the situations by putting myself there and like just relaxing and doing the things that I've been taught. But yeah, no, definitely getting used to being on your back was a big one for me.
Yeah, because that's literally where you don't want to be as a wrestler. You get on your back, your instinct is, turn over, fight. But you do that in jiu-jitsu, you're getting choked right away.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
So, and do you also coach wrestling at all at the gym there?
Oh, sorry, it fell over. No. Well, yes, I coach the we have a Tuesday, kind of a Tuesday class of youth. I coach I think it's everywhere from 6th to like 4th or 5th grade. That's on Tuesdays. And then throughout the week I am an assistant coach at Springfield College.
Nice. And how did you come across that position at Springfield?
My head coach from AIC was who is not there anymore is he was a Springfield alum, and I was looking to finish my master's degree, which I'm currently getting right now, finishing up my last year. And doing it for free, so they pay for it while I coach. And I got him. I've known Coach Holder for forever because he's watched me wrestle, and he's just been really close with my coach. So I knew him, and I decided it would be best if I stayed in the area if I wanted to continue to fight and stuff. So I decided that to stay in the area.
Nice. And how different is it, participating in college practice as a coach rather than a wrestler?
I mean, it isn't for me because, like,
I imagine you're still drilling, going at it with all the kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, I wrestle every day with them.
Yeah.
I wrestle with them every day. I condition with them because I was just like told like again like back with my dad, and he when I used to do something like when I was younger, or he'd tell me I should do something, he'd do it with me. So like that's just kind of the mentality I had. Like if I'm gonna tell them to do something, I'm not gonna just sit in the sidelines and just point fingers, or be like the guy behind the whistle. I'm the one that's gonna be like, all right, we got 10 sprints. I'm gonna do the 10 sprints with you, or okay, we're gonna do situational live, or like we're drilling and rolling around, and it gives me a different type of feel, so I know what they're messing up on.
Mm-hmm.
I wrestle everybody from 125 pounds to 285. Especially with our heavyweight, I wrestle with them a lot.
Nice.
So.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely like it's the comp. I still have that competitive edge, like where I like to compete in the room. But like competition day, like coaching, I still get the same jitters and nervous, and because they like in a sense they're like to me they're like I treat them like one of my own, like they're like family to me. You know what I mean? So like
exactly.
it's just like I just because I know how hard they work when they I care about them, they care about me, so it's that kind of like coach relationship that I have with my athletes that I love, like that makes me want to be there every day and go all out for them.
Nice. Do any kids on your wrestlers on the Springfield team also dabble in any MMA?
No, not yet. I hope a couple do, but
Yeah,
not
it's
yet.
probably
No.
hard to do to balance that, start an MMA career while wrestling in college still. So maybe a
Yeah.
little bit.
No. Yeah. It definitely is. It's hard to do it as a coach. You can only imagine as a wrestler.
Yeah. So going to your MMA career a little more, you're 3-0, right? Nice.
Yeah.
So and what promotions have you fought under, or has it just been one?
So I fought under CES twice, which was my first fight and my last fight, and then my second fight I fought at Combat Zone.
Nice. That's Calvin Caters, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope.
That was fun. Just I had a tremendous time there. I had a good time at CES, but I feel like with like having a UFC, vet in there and making sure that the athletes are they're taken care of and they're relaxed and they have space to like warm up and stuff.
Yeah, he knows
It
how
was
everything should be.
Yeah, 100%. It was phenomenal. Like it was probably one of my favorite so far.
How were you able to get on a card there? Did you just find the fight and they were looking for people?
Yeah, they were looking for someone, and we took it. It was actually probably one of the toughest fights I'll have like for a while.
Nice.
It was, yeah, I fought Grover Teixeira's nephew.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah.
pretty
So
cool. Did he fight in Danbury, that guy?
he fights out of Danbury. He
Yeah,
fights. He like trains with Alex Piera and all that.
gotcha. So going into your debut, you know, what was the mindset, before you stepped into the ring? Because it was a ring for your debut, right? I thought I saw some pictures. Or was
Yeah.
yeah. So what was the mindset? Were you nervous at all? Any jitters?
I was nervous before, but like once I got in there, it was like being in a wrestling match. The only difference is the walls are raised,
Yeah.
and I just like I don't know. I felt comfortable in there. I didn't feel like I was out of the ordinary for me. I felt like it was just a normal day.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
it was actually really relaxing. Like I didn't think I was gonna be that relaxed.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, but you said, it was like wrestling and you're definitely comfortable on the mat, so it makes sense that once you got in there, you'd mellow out.
Yeah, for sure. I was super mellow. My coach like he told me I was super relaxed and stuff, and that I did good. And for my first fight,
And
that's
did
all
you
you
win
want
by
to hear.
knockout? It was knockout, right? Your first fight?
No, my first fight was submission. My second fight was a knockout, and my third fight was unanimous.
Nice. What'd you hit him with in the first fight?
Head and arm.
Nice. Classic wrestling move, dude.
Yeah, head and arm.
Transition to what, a triangle?
Yeah, it
Nice.
was like yeah.
Perfect. So how similar is your like pre-fight warm-up routine to your pre-match wrestling warm-up routine?
My
Were
first
they
one I really
different?
didn't know. My first one I didn't really know how to warm up for.
Mm,
I didn't wanna do too much or do too little. But my second one I treated it like my normal wrestling warm up. Like I did like stance in motion, I sprawled, and then I hit pads, and then I did a little bit of like getting up from the bottom, and And then my third one, I kind of kept it the same. It was just so tight in the back room, we couldn't really do much.
Hmm.
And on
Are you
my third
still
fight, yes,
are you still running 6 miles the day before a big fight?
no, no, no. This time I'm not. Just because the weight cut is a lot more
Yeah,
different than it is in wrestling. Like wrestling, like you're not like you like have to do like skin fold and all that, and you can only make a certain amount of weight. Like this one, like I fought at 50 my second fight, and I haven't been 50 since I was a sophomore in college.
wow. Yeah. So what do you walk around at, like 65 or?
I wish like 75.
Wow. So you're really cutting then.
Yeah, yeah. Sadly,
So you're 3-0 now in MMA, and quite the got quite a bit of accolades on the mat, dude. What's next for you? Just gonna keep looking for fights, keep chasing the MMA dream as of now while coaching?
yeah. I finished up coaching this year, and then I'll see what I want to do. Just career wise, I'm still like kind of in the middle of things with that. And then the MMA thing, I'm gonna do that until I hopefully one day, if I can, make it to the UFC, that'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm sure all Connecticut, New England,
I,
everyone is.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Of course. Well, is there anything else you want to touch on?
No, man. I think you covered everything. It was great. I had a great time. I appreciate you having me on, and you know, uh, believe in me, and cheering me on. So I appreciate that.
Of course, bro. You earned it. You deserve it. You're doing great things, bringing, put Ellis Tech on the map, putting Connecticut on the map, in New England, all that, dude.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.